Hi there. So in this video it's more just like a little chit chat between you and me because I have like tons of things to do and like tons of interests, and I want to put my time to work on specific things that I love and just put attention like to making videos, working on my translation and editing projects regarding the anime, putting new courses, doing sessions, like tons of little things. But with all that, I want to find the right time and priorities and just put things straight. So for that, I need your feedback to know like things that you're interested in and what can I concentrate on, like what can I make videos. Because like I'm really inspired, I want to make videos, but then I have to like switch my days between giving people sessions, working on myself a little bit as much as possible. Like, every time I can find like a moment, like I need to give something to myself, like read a book or do a technique or something to help myself and just grow. Helping people is like always a priority, so I'm like giving like lots of sessions lately, and it's going like great. But at the same time, like I can't do all the videos that I want because like depending on my like moving schedule, like it's always a thing. I also want to work on my hobbies, which is like building the anime website in Lithuania, translating and editing anime and stuff like that. So it's a thing that I'm like really working on and been like working for like 5 years, uh, translating and editing. So it's like kind of like a hobby that turned into like a thing, and it's a must for me. Like I really want to work on it, and making videos. It's also like a I just want to grow my channel, like put more content, give people more value and stuff like that. And with all that, like today I'm like, oh, like I hadn't made video yesterday because I was like really engaged in my stuff. And today I'm like, what can I make a video about now? Because like I have like tons of things in my mind. And at the same time, like I just want to give you the value and, picking the subject that I like is great, but I also am interested in what you like. So I need your feedback. Like, what kind of subjects do you want me to talk about? What kind of like topics that you want me to touch? What like words? Oh my god, my English sucks. I'm sorry, but yeah, like I'm interested in what your interests are because this is what I want to concentrate on. Just like make content regarding those things, and like for me lately, I'm like all over the place. Rich and I were working on a new Ubi bootcamp. Like we're building this new course. I'm not gonna tell you too much about it because like it's still in a project, but like if you want us to put anything in there, like please do, because like we're working on it together, and like we're putting like lots of techniques and prep checks and dailies and everything we know about getting out of body, so that we could create a thing that's gonna help people to just use anything and everything, like all kinds of techniques regarding like from starting from your diet, from like lifting your vibrations, from all kinds of techniques to like everything where people get together and help each other to get out of body, like all kinds of techniques. And this is what we're working on lately, so it takes like time to put things and like people have various ways of learning, like through visuals, to listening, to writing, to touch and like feeling and stuff, to like experience. So having that in mind, like I want to create or like help to create the course that's like that is good for all kinds of people, because for some of you listening to videos great, others have a better way of learning when they write something down, others have the visual like and stuff like that. So it's a thing, and I want to put it all together so that everyone would have an easier way of learning, and like just like tons of things that goes in there. So my priority is like also like working on that like bootcamp and project, and like how do you teach people, how do you share the technique that it's simple and easy and fun to do, and how do you create a course that becomes like engaging and more of a lifestyle or a habit rather than just like, oh, it's a must and I don't like it but I have to do it because I want to get out of body. So like it takes time to like experiment and try new techniques and stuff, and everything we're gonna have on the course, I want to make videos on each of those and just give it out to you, because like we don't have to like hold it for like ransom, like hey, you have to pay for like $5 to get all that shit. Like no, like so I want to cover as much as possible and just give everything to you. And like there's like tons of subjects that we want to cover regarding that, like getting out of body, astral projection, lucid dreaming, dreams, and making clear like what's differences between all of those, like tons of things. So there's that. This is one of the little projects I'm working on, like tons of sessions to people, consultation, soul contract removal, and entity removal, and just like universal release method, like tons. And like I'm really engaged because like helping people is my priority, and just like finding out like the problems that they have and the kind of patterns that are repeating between people, and what can I do to sort of like find a way that will work for everyone, like create a technique or something that people with specific pattern in life can pick up on that, like just listen to my video, like hey, that might be a good thing, and they try it out for themselves and actually works and they like get benefits, like that would be awesome. So that's another thing I'm working on slowly, but just like every session I give, I sort of like write down like the conclusion of like what happened to the person, what kind of problems they went through, what we did, and what happens, like the results of the like, we used to touch bases after the sessions, and they write me down like what happened, did it help, did it not. So like I'm always interested in looking for ways of helping people, and that's like one of my things is like analyzing the like work I do and like does it help, does it not, what can I do better, stuff like that. And as I'm translating content like like anime and stuff, I'm always looking for videos or like specific projects that will have a deeper meaning, not just like something fun and like, hey, that's like, oh, boobs, cool, like, yeah. No, I'm looking for projects that will always have that sort of like soft disclosure, like tell us something about the world, what's going on, and like a secretive kind of message. And like recent project I was working on was Lupin the Third called Jigen's Gravestone. I think that's the name. And I want to make like a soft disclosure video like I did with the banana fish because it was like pretty good and went on like I was able to write a script and just analyze the things and just put everything into one good message. And I liked the video that I made. I was proud of my results because I was like I gave the message and everything went the way I wanted. Like the views and stuff like doesn't really matter because the message I gave was important and like I did that, like I'm happy with myself. So I want to do the same thing with certain projects I cover. I want to like touch more of those soft disclosure things because like recently when Rich was still in Lithuania, both of us watched the Project Blue Book, and it was pretty good. Like it was certain that ones were based on the true story. It doesn't mean that everything they show is true and stuff, but you can pick up like, oh, this case and that case, this is like that probably happened, and then you analyze it. So I want to do the soft disclosure message and just like talk about more of UFOs and aliens and this recent project of like anime Lupin the Third Jigen's Gravestone. It had a pretty good message on the whole like surveillance thing, how the government is tracking people and pedophilia and like all this whole thing. And it reminded me of the Epstein case. Like, I'm not touching the political zone pretty much. I want to, but like I'm concentrating on like spiritual work, like, doing like removing soul consciousness, getting out of body and stuff like that. But like the whole thing that's happening in the world, we have the Greta thing, like she's like talking about like global warming and things like that, and just trying to fix the world, and people don't realize that like kids or young people can easily be manipulated and controlled, and just like, hey, this is what you're gonna say, you do that, and like it's easy to influence people and manipulate them and stuff like that. And there's this whole like subject regarding Greta, regarding Trump, and like Epstein, like tons of things that we can touch and talk about. But I'm like, I have different priorities right now, and like I'm interested in what are your interests and what do you want me to talk about, because like with all the stuff I have to like put priorities differently, and all the subjects that I probably want to talk about, like getting out of body and like soul contracts, but people might want me to talk about politics, like okay, I might touch on that one. So like I want to do my like research and just put myself and just work and analyze and just find like my own things, and then just share my thoughts, because like I don't necessarily have to be right about everything. Like I'm pretty much sure that I don't know stuff. Like I don't know anything about this world. Like I know a little, but the more I know it, the more I don't understand, or like I don't know like how the saying goes exactly, but like there's tons of subjects that I want to learn about, and recently I'm just like all into making myself better. So everything I can do, like with the life coaching for myself, and like better diet, better lifestyles, and everything I can do to make my relationships better with people, working on myself, my fears and stuff like that. Just a whole like subject of making your life better is a big one for me, because like I've been a child who was really having a hard time to communicate, getting out. Like I'm a huge introvert where I can stay at my place for like months and then not get out. Like if I don't need to go and buy food and stuff, I can stay and I have no problem going out. Like I was like having a hard time with that, and I mean like the hard time of getting out and actually communicating to people was really hard for me. And nowadays it's like I'm actually having fun going out and talking and stuff. So I'm seeing my personality change big time, and like that's again something to talk about, like basic human needs and how I went through my own stuff. What am I doing? Like the hardships I face. It's not like I know it all. Like no, I'm a kid. I'm still trying to find out how to live in this world. But I know that the mistakes and hardships that I face, and if I can like go through it and document it, and also like make videos of what I've been through, what I'm going through, and things I do to change and get better. If I can put it just as an example, just like 5 years from now, if I get somewhere in life where I'm actually like having really a lot of fun, and I'm having that free time of I'm able to say anything without ever considering like I need to stop because it's gonna be right, wrong, and bad and guilty and stuff. Because there's this whole thing like you can say a simple word, but how people will perceive it and have connections to anything in their life will have an effect on them. Because I can say chocolate, I can say milk, or fuck. And one of these words will be a trigger, like, oh, you're cussing, you're a bad girl, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, it's just a word. You give the meaning to it, not me. Because I might just like, oh, it's just a word, like, it's not a big deal. But some people will have, like, a trigger case, and that's the thing, you know? So it's a thing. It's like, I'm mentioning this because, like, recently there was this, like, thing with Tony Robbins. Someone saw his video from, like, I don't know, 20, 30 years back when he was just, like, still starting it out. And he was giving an example of how people give the meaning to the words, and someone literally cut out this content where he called someone nigger or something, and everyone went crazy and bashed Tony Robbins and, like, started accusing him of raping and stuff. And, like, you know, I don't necessarily believe that because, like, he's the person who went through stuff himself and he's, like, helping people. So, like, it's up for us who will, you know, to look through the things, to look through the evidence and stuff and, like, make our own opinion about things. But, like, this whole thing about, like, picking just one word out of the whole context and thinking, like, hey, this person is bad because he say that word, like, no, please listen to the whole thing. You don't know what he's talking about. So keeping that in mind, like, you know, we're going through a lot of stuff in life, like, I think all of us, and we perceive things differently, like, regarding relationships and the work and, like, lifestyle and stuff like that. And for me, it's just, like, how do you work on yourself so that you would never be affected by the surroundings? Because, you know, circumstances will probably stay the same, but the way you react and the way you're gonna act regarding all those things can change, and that's the whole thing. You know, like, I can't control people, I can't control my surroundings, but I can control myself. And if I can change myself to react differently to when certain stuff happens that used to trigger me in the past, that's a win. If I can stop being triggered by certain things that, like, was making me, like, more sad or something in past, and now it's like, oh yeah, it's a thing, cool. Like, it doesn't bother me anymore. I won. Like, I won the game, and that's where I want to be. So, with all that being said, like, I'm just, like, going through life and just, like, finding stuff that, like, is good for me, that I like, that I'm interested in. And with all that, like, I want to make more videos, but that one day of, like, oh, I didn't make a video, and, like, I sort of feel bad about it. I'm not saying, like, guilty and stuff, but I'm just, like, I want to get out there more, like, make more videos, give more value to people, and I want to see, like, this growth of my YouTube where, like, I can get engaged with more people, and I really appreciate every one of you, like, all of you talking to me and showing your thoughts, like, it's really important to me, and keeping that in mind, like, I still haven't replied to most people on my videos, and I want to get there, like, you know, when I'm done with sessions, I just take, like, I know that, like, it's a challenge for me. I wake up, I'm gonna look through the comments, write to many people, as many as I can, get back to emails, because, like, there's tons of emails I have that I haven't replied to yet, and it's just, like, keep on going. So that's the thing. And this whole, like, video is just, like, a little update on my life, and, you know, if you're interested in my channel and what I'm making, I want you to be part of it and just, like, guide me. Like, you know, you are my guide. If you tell me what you're interested in, you're guiding me in a certain direction of what I'm going to talk about in my next videos. So, you know, like, I'm all up for it, like, hey, show me the way, because I'm going to share my opinion on anything you want, and, like, it's easy for me to talk about. And there's this whole subject of suicide and stuff. I have a lot to say because, like, I sort of went through it myself and all that, but, like, this whole subject is really hard thing to talk about nowadays because, like, it's like, if you're gonna say something and you can influence people, you're gonna be so bad, you're gonna go to jail, you know, you have this sort of responsibility, and you have to give, like, tons of disclaimers about, like, don't do it, and, like, don't take my opinion for stuff, and, like, all that. And, like, I think it's important to talk about it because a lot of people are going through it. A lot of people are, like, thinking about suicide and stuff. And I've been through it myself, and I was able to escape it, or, like, find a better thing to do and just, like, you know, sort of do something with my life, and, like, that's better. So it's important to address this whole thing because, like, yeah, I can go into, like, that subject a lot, but there are tons of subjects I want to talk about, but, like, I'm interested in what you're interested in so that I could, like, make it a priority and just, like, in this whole schedule that I have in my life, or, like, not just schedule, but, like, tons of interests that I have and, like, things to do during the day. I want to find a time to just make videos and cover certain topics that you're interested in. So, yeah, that's my updates. So please share your thoughts about everything and anything, because, like, I'm really interested in your thoughts and just you guiding me and, like, telling me what I should talk about and stuff. And I'll share my opinion, and, like, you know, I'm just telling what I think. I don't necessarily have to be right about everything. Like, I might be wrong as hell, but this is just my life and the way I perceive things. And if you're interested, like, thank you. Like, I appreciate it. So, yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.